On the news, Senator Natasha to serve out suspension as Senate goes on recess. Federal government urges Nigerians to make self-care a priority. 15 people killed in fresh Plateau violence. Edo begins program to reintegrate out-of-school children into formal educational system. In addition, we have the exchange rates and weather report. So stand by for the details.
This is the news on the hour. You're welcome. I am Ugbebo Ikekwa. 2 days after Senator Natasha Dagan was barred from resuming her duties, the Nigerian Senate on Thursday adjourned plenary till September 23, 2025 for its annual recess. With the new recess now in effect, the embattled Kogi senator is expected to serve out the remainder of her suspension until plenary resumes. Senator Dagan was suspended on March 6, 2025 for 6 months following allegations of misconduct and insubordination during plenary on February 20, 2025 when she rejected a change to her designated seat. The Senate had warned that it might revisit her suspension if she failed to issue a formal apology. The penalty was based on recommendations by the Senate Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, which found her guilty after investigating complaints against her. Senator Dagan has accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio of acting beyond his authority. However, the Senate President disclosed that the decision to go on recess was based on chamber reciprocity, noting that the House of Representatives has already proceeded on recess in line with the legislative calendar. Senator Natasha is presently in London, having left the country via the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport on Thursday, 24th July 2025. The federal government on Thursday urged Nigerians to prioritize self-care, noting that it is a critical, non-negotiable pathway to achieving universal health coverage and improved well-being for all Nigerians. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Patti, disclosed this at a press briefing to commemorate the International Self-Care Day, themed Self-Care, Empowering Individuals, Families and Communities for Universal Health Coverage on Thursday. Globally, July 24th is observed as International Self-Care Day, signifying the importance of practicing self-care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Self-care, according to the World Health Organization, is the ability of individuals, families, and communities to promote and maintain their own health, prevent disease, and cope with illness with or without the support of a healthcare worker. The health minister noted that self-care is not a luxury but a necessity and must be prioritized to enable healthy, productive, and fulfilling lives. At least 14 villagers and a mobile police officer were killed on Thursday in 2 separate attacks carried out by gunmen in Boko's local government area of Plateau State. One of the attacks took place around 4 p.m. as the victims, mostly from the Chirang community, were returning from Boko's market to Mango village in the locality. The attack came on the heels of another incident earlier in the day where a mobile police officer was killed at his duty post. Security operatives have been deployed to the troubled council area to contain the situation. A new policy document on non-state schools launched by the Federal Ministry of Education has pegged the entry age for pupils seeking admission into junior secondary schools after completing 6 years of primary education at 12. According to the policy document, basic education shall be of 9 years duration with 6 years in primary school and a 3-year junior secondary school. Children shall be admitted into primary 1 only when they attain the age of 6 years. In a demonstration of commitment to child education and social welfare, the Edo State Commissioner for Education, Dr. Padi Yamu, led a team from the ministry and the flagship project Edo Rescue to Logushere Primary School in Upper Sokomba axis of Benin City, where government provided support to dozens of children previously seen roaming the streets during school hours. The visit formed part of the pilot phase of Edo Rescue, a bold intervention program designed to identify, rehabilitate, and reintegrate out-of-school children into the formal education system. During the outreach, each child received a set of school supplies, including bags, exercise books, and socks, all donated by Dr. Yamu as a gesture of encouragement and support. The commissioner reaffirmed Governor Kwewolo's resolve to eliminate street hawking and truancy among school-age children, emphasizing that every Edo child must be in school equipped and empowered to learn. The Sokoto state government has banned all forms of signing out celebrations by graduating secondary school students across the state. The Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Professor Ahmad Ladan, announced the ban on Thursday, citing rising incidents of student misconduct, vandalism, and public disturbances associated with such events. The directive affects both public and private schools. Professor Ladan emphasized that the sign-out trend has deviated from its original celebratory intent and now undermines the values of discipline, academic focus, and responsible conduct that the state's education system strives to promote. The Confederation of African Football has appointed Namibian referee Ansino Twanya Yukwa to be in charge of proceedings when host Morocco trade tackles with the Super Falcons in a blockbuster WAFCON 2024 final in Rabat on Saturday. Twanya Yukwa becomes the first match official from the Southern African country to take charge of a WAFCON final in history. She was selected by the continent's football governing body following her exceptional performance during the ongoing competition. She will be assisted by 7 other referees during the match. Inter Milan have issued a final deadline to Atlanta as they intensify their pursuit of Nigeria international Ademola Lookman. They are desperate to reinforce their attack ahead of the new season and have grown impatient with the lack of progress in negotiations for the 27-year-old winger. While Inter have agreed personal terms with Lookman, a multi-year deal worth €40 million falls short of Atlanta's €50 million valuation. Inter have refused to increase their offer and are exploring alternatives should negotiations collapse. And now to the exchange rates. One United States dollar, its equivalent in naira, is 1,525. 1 euro, equivalent in naira, 1,786. 1 British pound presently stands at 2,047 naira. 1 Canadian dollar, 1,113 naira. And the Australian dollar, 1,000 naira. And the weather forecast for Saturday, 26th July. In Abuja, there will be rain with a temperature of 26 degrees Celsius. In Lagos, it will be cloudy with a temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. In Benin, it will rain and a temperature of 28 degrees Celsius is expected. In Port Harcourt, there will be light rain with 28 degrees Celsius as temperature. And in Kaduna, there will be scattered thunderstorms with a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. While in Enugu, there will be light rain with a temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. In Washington, there will be light rain with a temperature of 33 degrees Celsius. In London, it will be partly cloudy and temperatures of 24 degrees Celsius is expected. In Johannesburg, it will be sunny with a temperature of 19 degrees Celsius. In Rome, it will be partly cloudy with a temperature of 33 degrees Celsius. While in Paris, it will be mostly cloudy with a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. And that's the news on the hour on Providence Television International. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned.